The Saints start the season 0-2 yet again, giving up the most yards through the first 2 games in franchise history. So where does this struggling team go from here? Plus, LSU is stunned by a 30-point loss in their SEC opener against Mississippi State. Tulane starts strong but can't keep up with second-ranked Oklahoma. And which prep teams have impressed the most through the first 3 weeks of the season?
This is the last word on sports. 4th Down on 4 starts now.
It's not time to push the panic button, but that time doesn't seem too far away. I'm Doug Mouton. Welcome to 4th Down on 4. The fact is, 2 games in, the Saints are a disaster on defense. And for the first time in a decade, they don't look good on offense either. And the world champs took full advantage, as Ricardo Lecomte reports.
See you, all right? You too. Good luck, you big guy. Way to go. Keep it up.
Another home opener and another loss for the Saints. This time, the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots handing the black and gold a 3rd straight home opening defeat. The Saints defense exposed for a 2nd straight week, with quarterback Tom Brady doing the honors this time. The future Hall of Famer opened the game with a touchdown toss to Rex Burkhead, then a 53-yard strike to Rob Gronkowski. Gronk taking advantage of Alex Anzalone falling in coverage, and a 3rd TD pass in the first quarter to Chris Hogan. The Saints reeling as Brady ripped apart the Saints D to the tune of 447 yards passing and 3 touchdowns.
We all know what Tom can do, and we understood that coming into this game. We understood that it's going to be a well-oiled machine, and you have one of the best behind the center. I'm calling the plays, so as for us, we just got to execute. We got to know, and we understood that when we came into this game that it's going to just we got to win our one-on-one matchups and do that, and we didn't do that so well today.
I do know that we have a lot of things in our defense that we have to fix. Just minor things, certain plays here, not everybody's in sync, and that's something that we have to take over, and that's in our control.
Safety Kenny Vaccaro, who's reportedly been involved in trade talks this week, was benched in the second half for his play.
I've been here for the last 4 years, and we hadn't played up to par on defense, and I understand how it goes. I got to be better. My preparation, got to be more consistent. Like I said, the game before, I had plays that I wanted to get back. That's going to happen. But at the same time, I didn't understand this game, what happened at all. But at the same time, I take full responsibility for all that, and we got to move on, got to keep pushing.
The Saints dug themselves in an early hole, and that wasn't good news for an offense which came into the game with changes on the offensive line, and they couldn't match what Brady and company were doing on the other sideline. Drew Brees and company got 3 points in their opening drive, but didn't score after the Brady to Gronk touchdown, which made it 13-3. The offense scored its first touchdown of the contest in the second quarter, a 9-play, 80-yard drive capped by a Brandon Coleman 5-yard touchdown that cut the deficit to 20-10. The Saints got within 20-13, but a failed 4th down conversion between Brees and Ted Ginn Jr. gave the Pats a chance to extend the lead to 30-13 at the break. Brees completed 27-45 for 356 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the stats padded in garbage time.
I would say we had a good understanding today as to how we needed to attack these guys and where our big play opportunities could come, and we did make some big plays, but unfortunately there was a few that I felt like we could have made, should have made, that unfortunately we didn't, and those become the difference makers.
We have a lot of talent in this locker room. We could turn things around, and we could turn things around right when we want to. So we just have to play a complete game, complement our defense complement us, so we just have to put points on the board to make stops.
It still all adds up to a 16-point loss to the defending Super Bowl champs, and a 4th straight year the Saints start a season 0-2. Sean Payton delivering the message after the game that this thing can be fixed.
The sprint here that we're in to improve each week. Obviously, you start off like this and there's disappointment, and yet, we've got the right type of locker room, but we're going to have to respond quickly. We play Carolina and then, go on the road for another week. So, we'll find out a little bit about what we're made of.
Reporting at the Superdome, Ricardo Lecomte, 4th Down on 4.
All right, good stuff, Ricardo. It's difficult to find any silver lining right now after a loss like that one. We caught up with one of the best who covers the Saints to break it down afterwards. All right, joined by Nick Underhill after this game. Nick, was this worse than you thought it would be, especially on defense?
I did, because they usually play good teams well. You know, they played Green Bay here a couple of years ago after a slow start to the season. They play them well, and then I thought they'd be able to sort out some of their issues. I didn't expect it to be a dominant performance or anything like that. I picked the Patriots to win, but I thought it would be a close game. I thought it'd be a shootout, and they just kind of were inept on both sides of the ball, and that was a little bit surprising.
Well, let's start with the defensive problems, because that's been the bigger problems in the first 2 weeks. Look, Tom Brady didn't attack the outsides. He went to Brandon Cooks later, but he really attacked the inside guys, Gronkowski and the running backs. The Saints have been unable to stop tight ends and running backs for 3 years running.
And hey, I thought that was going to be something that they would fix this year by revamping that linebacker core. The only speedy guy since I've been here, since 2014, that they've had is Ellerbe, but Ellerbe never played, so they really didn't have him anyhow. And some of these guys they have a little bit better range. I thought Anzalone played okay the first week. Today he gave up 2 touchdowns, and there were some issues there. And they got Gronkowski on him one time, and you know, it was a 53-yard touchdown. So it seems like a lot of those same issues that we've seen year after year are showing up. And they didn't play zone this week. Last week they played zone, and that's where a lot of the issues came from, is that their zone coverage is broke. They played more man today, and they weren't manning up. So it's a new style of defense, new style of problems, and you know, that's not a good thing. And it's surprising, because I thought one of the hallmarks last year was that Dennis Allen's defense was organized. They didn't have these coverage breaks. It was just they didn't have good players. Now they should have better players, but now they're having coverage issues and scheme issues, and I don't know how they fix it.
Yeah, no, and I would agree. And then what used to carry the Saints was the offense. You got a team, now granted, you got way behind the 8 ball in this one, but you threw it 17, you ran it 17 times, you threw it 45, and the offense to me just seems mismatched. With Adrian Peterson and Mark Ingram, and you don't have the deep threat you had with Brandon Cooks. I'm not sure what they are on offense right now, and I haven't said that in a decade. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think they know what they are on offense yet. They want to be this balanced team with the 3-headed running back attack in 2 weeks in a row. That hasn't really got going. I think losing Willie Snead is a big issue for this team, especially on third downs. That's not a guy that you can just take out and replace. His role's over the middle. He has to read defenses and sit in zone coverages and see things the same way as Breeze. And you can't just plug somebody in and expect that to be okay after 2 weeks. So that's to be expected. But it is surprising that they are having these issues moving the ball, because we've kind of taken this offense for granted. Hey, it's going to be fine. You can take out Jimmy Graham. You can take out Brandon Cooks. You can take out Willie Snead. Everything's going to be okay. And, you know, right now it's not okay. So there's issues on both sides. And, you know, that's the first time I think anybody's been able to say that in a long time about this team.
In a long time. And look, here's the money question. Do you see reasons for optimism looking forward? And look, I don't want to be the over pessimist. You still have 14 games to play, but I'm not really seeing them right now. Certainly Marshawn Lattimore played well. You can pick out some limited things, but to turn this thing around, I don't know if I see it. Do you?
You know, after watching this game and then seeing the one the week before, it's hard in the moment right here to say it's going to be okay. I mean, I'm sure after looking at it and you get a little bit more removed, you'll see ways that they can get better. But look, it's not good right now. They're, 1-11 in the last 4 Septembers now. And after starting off 1-3 the last 3 years, it didn't work. They finished 7-9. So schedule doesn't get any easier. Carolina's tough. Going to England to play Miami won't be easy. Detroit's a good team. Green Bay's a good team. So, you know, it's a tough slate of games, and if they aren't 500 coming out of those 6 games, I mean, it won't matter if they get better during the second half of the season, and they probably will get better because it's a young team with a lot of young players. They're going to get healthier, but by that point, will it be too late? And, you know, it might be.
It might be. Nick Underhill, thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, the Tigers were manhandled by Mississippi State Saturday, leaving a furious Ed Ogeron wondering if his team is ready for SEC competition. Plus, Willie Fritz's Green Wave actually led Oklahoma midway through the first quarter, but Tulane couldn't keep up with the potent Sooners offense. And later, several prep teams have shown that they may be playing in the Dome in December. When asked if Saturday's game in Starkville was a wake-up call, LSU coach Ed Ogeron said no question. Mississippi State blew out the Tigers 37-7. It was ugly, and LSU certainly didn't help themselves. On the road in the SEC, you cannot roll up 112 yards in penalties.
This was a bad call.
This home run was called back because of an illegal pick. That one was questionable. This wasn't. And 2 targeting penalties bothered Ed Ogeron the most.
Number 48 is disqualified.
The 2 targeting should have never happened. One by an experienced player, one by a freshman. In the 3rd quarter, when we had addressed it again at halftime.
Obviously, when you play that sloppy, you're going to lose. And, you know, that's hard to overcome. You know, the first penalty you can overcome, but when you start stacking them on top of each other, that's tough.
We're shooting ourselves in the foot. We have no one else but us to blame.
But the penalties obviously weren't the only problem Saturday night. Ed Ogeron had a list.
Them rushing for 285 yards on us when we had just held opponents to 35 yards rushing per game. Obviously, we got some guys hurt up front. We got to get them back.
LSU missed sophomore Rashard Lawrence badly. He didn't play against Mississippi State. And Ogeron said his biggest worry pregame was whether LSU's young offensive line could block a very talented Bulldog front.
And maybe we're not as good at some spots as we thought we were because we played some lesser teams. We played an SEC team, and we got handled on the front, on both sides of the front.
They had a good game plan tonight, and as a line, we gotta play better. I mean, we gotta take this, and this week the line's got to focus and get better.
Danny Etling didn't get much help from his receivers. Ogeron was asked how he thought his quarterback played.
Not very well. I don't think nobody played well tonight.
Meanwhile, Mississippi State quarterback Nick Fitzgerald was terrific. He's a different player than the guy who looked ordinary against LSU last season.
He's a guy that I think has definitely improved after that game, and you saw how he blossomed, and he's having a great year this year, so give credit to him. And he's doing a lot of great things this year, and give credit to Mississippi State. They're a team that did really well tonight, and you give props to them.
Now, a young LSU team faces questions, adversity, but the veteran Tigers say they will not let it spiral.
You got to keep the guys focused. You can't let people veer off, because people can veer off and then they'll take other people with them. We just got to focus on those mistakes, and when we get that right, then we could be a threat.
I got to be a better leader. I got to go in there and Coach O says don't blame people, but it's not blaming people. It's holding people accountable, and it's wanting people to wake up and move on and step up. You know, I just want people to step up, including myself, starting with me.
I'm more mad, and I'm more ready to go, and I'm ready for next week, and I want to get back after them, and I can't wait for Monday practice because, we really got to get going, and we got to make up and get back out there and get going again.
LSU will try to get better next Saturday at home against Syracuse. Tulane, meanwhile, ran headfirst into the #2 team in America. The Green Wave played at Oklahoma, and for most of the first half, Tulane hung with the Sooners. Tulane's first 2 possessions were sort of textbook Willie Fritz offense. Dontrell Hilliard capped a 65-yard drive with a score. Then Jonathan Brantley, the backup quarterback, hit Bell-Chase wideout Teron Ankalaad on a 75-yard drive that Brantley capped with the keeper. At this point, the Green Wave led the second-ranked Sooners 14-7. Then reality sort of set in. On Tulane's next drive, Parnell Motley changed the game with a pick-6. That started the snowball effect that never stopped.
Looked good early on. They made some adjustments and started bringing some people, in the second half, corner blitzes and having a few more people than we could account for at the point of attack.
They're a good team. As you can tell, they're #2 in the country, and I think they're just going to get better.
It's safe to say that will be Tulane's toughest game this season, and they do feel they'll be able to forget the 56-14 final score.
That game's over with already. We lost. Try to forget about it as fast as possible, I think. Army's the next step. We play Navy really good. See what we do to make it happen.
In 6-7 weeks can kind of help you out a little bit when you're playing a quality opponent, and you just got to keep battling and keep fighting. I thought we did a very good job of that in the first half. But there's ebbs and flows in the game, and when things aren't going in a positive direction for you. You just got to keep playing and keep fighting. And you know, that's one of the things we're teaching our guys.
I'm confident. Like our team gonna be fine. So it's gonna be confident. Everything's gonna be the same. And nothing changed with us. We're just gonna come back out, execute the play, watch this film, take good evaluation of what we did, and use it for next week.
After losing the last two, the Wave now have 2 winnable games. The next 2 are home against Army and Tulsa, where Tulane hopes the lessons learned in losses to Navy and Oklahoma start paying off. Still ahead, the De La Salle Cavaliers and Easton Eagles are 2 teams that have started 2017 with a bang. Which other teams are looking like they might make a deep playoff run this fall? Renee Nato analyzes that after the break. We are 3 weeks into the prep football season, and already some great stories are emerging. The teams that have a chance to get to the Superdome, our good friend Renee Nato joining us. I asked Renee to come up with teams that he thinks have the best shot of our local schools to get to the Dome. We'll start on the private school side. We had a terrific game Saturday between Rummel and Riverside, and those are 2 of your choices with the best shots, right?
And the thing is, both those teams have college-type quarterbacks.
Right.
Jordan Loving and Chandler Fields. They're both guys who can be playing in college, and they both have wide-open passing attacks. Both can score a lot of points, which they both did. And both, I think, that fans can feel pretty comfortable about the second weekend in December, about maybe being in the Dome.
Yeah, and both of those schools have terrific coaching staffs, and yeah, I would not bet against either one of those. Now look, John Curtis, it's been a few years, and that's really odd. Since they won a state championship, they have looked really good so far, and you think they've got a good shot, right?
Overdue. 5 years since John Curtis won a state championship.
That sounds like else, that's normal.
Oh, 5 years since they won. But, you know, they got that offense that you just cannot stop, and they just keep churning it out. And Coach J.T. Curtis, he's seen it all. They are going to be tough to beat, and they are road-tested. They're going to be a tough out to get to the Dome.
And that is a program that expects to be there. And maybe the best story so far this football season, and maybe the best single team in the New Orleans metro area, the De La Salle Cavaliers, who have looked terrific in 3 ball games.
They can beat anybody in any classification. They've won 22 out of 23. They last played for a state championship against LaGrange. They lost in 1961. They've been to the semis 3 times. But Julian Gums is averaging 8.5 yards per carry. It's unbelievable. Great defense, too. They have the total package, offense, defense, special teams.
Yeah, and Gums is the guy who really makes that offense go. I legitimately think he has been our local MVP 3 weeks into the season.
He really has. He's counted for a lot of yards on the ground. He can pass the ball, but he is a college-type runner. He's committed right now to Nicholls State.
And he's a big kid who can run with the ball. All right, then moving to the public school side, I think the best story on the public school side has been Bubblegum Holmes and the Warren Easton Eagles. They have looked terrific 3 games in, and they're loaded. They've got players, offense, defense, they've got playmakers, they've got a quarterback. I like that team, agreed?
Loaded with college talent. And the thing is that their defense, Jerry Phillips has done a great job with their defense, but the last time Warren Easton won a state title was 1942. Eddie Price was there.
Wow.
So this might be the time that they can take out the banners and everything, be ready to play. But they are loaded with a lot of experience, a lot of depth, a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, as you said.
Yeah, and a couple other, the Carr Cougars have looked awful good so far. I know that's a team you like.
Bryce Brown, you know, they lost. And don't worry about the exhibition season or preseason. It's like the NFL, you know. Carr is good. They also have been to the Dome and won. They can get back again, and I expect Carr to be there when the smoke clears.
And one of our favorites, I know both you and I both love this guy, Wayne Reese, and what he's done at McDonough 35. That is a school that I am really anxious to see them in the next few weeks, but that's a school that has a ton of talent and a shot too, right?
Wayne Reese, 48 years, never has a bad day in his life. Wait, coaching. And the thing is that McDonough, 35, you know, he's the kind of program you want to pull for.
No doubt.
He's got some playmakers. Lawrence Keys, the third, is a big-time recruit. And they have a passing offense, a wide-open offense, and some talent on defense as well. And if they play, they can play with anyone on any given night. They can beat the Carrs and the Warren Eastons and the Landry Walkers. They can play that good. So at the right time, they can make it all the way to the Dome.
That's 7 schools that we think have a shot. It has been a fun start to the high school football season. Renee Nato, great job as always. We're back with more 4th Down on 4 in a minute.